Welcome back to this already the final segment of today's Price of Business. One of our regular contributors, one of my favorites, actually, I love talking to him, Brendan Neef, and he is with Victory Transportation Systems. He really epitomizes to me the spirit and attitude of entrepreneurs today, and really at least what they should be striving for. He brings so much experience and so much commitment to the growth of his business. And really great practical information to help other business owners out there navigate through what's arguably one of the most challenging times we've had in decades. And Brendan, as always, good to talk to you, sir.
Good morning, and thanks for having me. And I appreciate those kind words. And I enjoy doing the show with you guys. So it's been fun for me as well.
Well, you do a great job, and the feedback we always get is very positive, and so I think it's really important what you provide. And we also get great feedback from when we rebroadcast it on the national news website, U.S. Daily Review, and so we're glad to have you. Brendan, first of all, kind of give us the elevator speech about Victory Transportation Systems, which, by the way, can be found online at victorytrucks.com.
Yeah, thank you for that. And so what we are is a time-definite hotshot delivery service here in Houston with our only location currently right now in Houston. And we do loads for customers, haul their freight. Could be anything from a small box to a full tractor load. And we do that anywhere around town or anywhere in the continental United States. And what our special niche is people call us that need it picked up and delivered now. And usually that wherever it's going, if it's going across town and or somewhere throughout the United States, is people are needing it, and they're needing it now. And so that's where our little niche is. We're an expediter, I guess, is a more professional way to say it, but the people that call us need it picked up and delivered.
Yeah, kind of give us an overview of the range of things you've delivered.
So we've always been a broad, diverse with our customer base. We do anything from electrical distributors, rental companies. We do a lot of, one of our big customers is United Rentals. So we do a lot of stuff for them. And then we do supply houses. We do pipe valves and fittings, just different markets, always to be broad and diverse to overcome any slowdowns. But right now with oil and its tentacles reaching everywhere, Houston's a little challenging right now. So you just got to figure out how to navigate through that.
Yeah, no question about it. And you guys are very creative about that. You know, and one of the things we talked about before is that, you know, when people think of hotshot carriers, they think of guys on bicycles with envelopes under their arm, like in you know, and you don't do a whole lot of that, do you?
No, I don't do any of that. That's how I got my start, actually. So I was not a bike courier, but we started as a little courier company with my first company, and then over time evolved into the hot shot market. But there's definitely a need for it, you know, because if an electrical distributor's got a big job going with a big construction company, and those people, you know, they're always needing this or that, needing a small piece of conduit or a roll of wire. You know, the contractor doesn't want to take the time to get off the job to come get it, so he'll call the company, his supplier, and say, hey, I need X. And then, you know, they don't want to send their people out to do it, so they'll outsource it. Either way, it's going to have to get delivered on a truck. A lot of people choose to outsource it, and that's where we come in and help them get their product to where it's going.
So with all the challenges out there in the current economy, and particularly in the Houston economy, what would you say are the single biggest ones? Just a change in who you need to appeal to as clients?
Well, you know, here's what you got to deal with. Everybody's dealing with the same thing. The economy's slow, the challenge is slow. And so what our deal is to look at two things. We know our customer base is having some pain, and then we know our company's having some pain. So what we're trying to do is, one, we got stabilized in our organization, make sure our overhead and our expenses was aligned with our revenue, number one. Then number two is to visit with your team. You know, hey, it is challenging. Here's what we're doing. Here's the facts, and here's what we're going to try to do to meet it. And then hopefully help our customers with some of their pain, because, you know, one of the first two things they look at in a time of turbulence is their overtime costs to their employees and their shipping costs, you know, because shipping is always a big cost. So that's one of the first things that gets analyzed and starts getting cut. So what we did is did a couple of things to help our customers, help them on price a little bit. We did some price reduction of our own to help them through the process, and then, hopefully that'll create some long-term value within our organization with our customer base. And so that's really all you can do. And there's market share out there. You just gotta hustle right now, and you've got to figure out ways to help other potential customers with solutions and to help them help their customers be successful. So that's what we're focusing on, and we've stabilized now. We see some light at the end of the tunnel, and now we're just focusing on, now that we've got things in line to where they need to be from our organization standpoint, just go out and try to pursue and chase new opportunities while making sure we're taking care of our current customer base, not getting too focused on things that allow us to not be taking care of at least the current providers for our business right now, and making sure we're giving great experiences to our current customer base for sure.
Yeah, no question about it. You're almost kind of, I don't want to overplay what you do, but, you're a voice of stability and calm in what is somewhat of a chaotic situation is extremely powerful. And you talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. What was the path that got you to that light? What are the things you did that got you to that place where you can see where things are heading in the right direction now, in spite of an economy that really isn't conducive for that?
Well, what we did, like I said, one of the first things when we realized there was a downturn, we brought everybody together and we said, look, here's the facts. Our revenue is going to drop a little bit probably over the next couple of months, which that did. Then what our first action item is going to be is to get our overhead and our expenses in line with where our revenue was. And so everybody knew that we were going to be taking some cuts across the board, whether that be reducing overtime, reducing some hours, maybe through attrition, reducing some people count, cutting back on some expenses, things that might not need to be spent right now that were more of a luxury than a necessity. And we just got everybody on the same page. And then we told them we'll go through the first couple of months, January, February, see where we are. We'll have a better idea of where our baseline is as far as revenue. And then we just got through that. We think we're at a baseline now that where we won't see any more drop in revenue, but now we can go out and pursue other opportunities. And we're just very transparent. So I believe in telling the company the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's very well articulated, so they know. And then, we tell them, look, we can't focus on.
Yeah, no question about it. So basically you did the exact opposite of the 5 biggest mistakes every company makes that makes them go bankrupt.
Yeah.
You were communicative when a lot of employers aren't. You were engaging when a lot of employers become ostriches. You went ahead and made the tough decisions as far as cutting short term so you can have sustainability and long-term growth. And those are really the opposite of the things you did are what leads companies to going completely under.
Yeah, we feel if everybody knows what's going on, they'll work through the challenges together and have a great attitude, because it's the attitude that's going to get you through the turbulent time. And when everybody knows what's going on and what the plan of action is, and that they know if bad news is on the way, they know they're going to hear it from us, and they know we're going to figure out a way through it. So for me, that's the best way to do it, and it's worked for me, and so that's our philosophy across the board.
I love it. Brendan Neef, he's a regular on The Price of Business, and you can tell why. He is a source of great information, but I think also inspiration and really a voice of stability, because, Houston boasts the fact that we're not nearly as oil dependent as we were 30 years ago, but the reality is in spite of the fact that we've diversified our economy, there's so much of our economy that is directly connected to the energy industry, and so the suffering's pretty huge in this town. And so I'm grateful that there's great business leaders like Brendan that are navigating, helping others navigate through this time, and his willingness to share that with our audience is amazing. Brendan Neef, you can learn more about him and his company, Victory Transportation Systems, at victorytrucks.com. And that wraps up today's segment. Do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at the national news website, usdailyreview.com. And our best content here, including this interview, will be found over there. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and spend it wisely right here on this station.